yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, it's your boy Amiri, back with another bang of the Fresh Prince of Zamunda. Yeah. Shit. Listen. Listen, you saw the thumbnail, and I'm gonna have to go back to it for 2 minutes. Is that all right? You lot don't mind 2 minutes, just literally 2 minutes. I'm just gonna sort out something. I just need to sort out something because it's very detrimental. So I'm gonna send you back to that screen. The screen. What could I say? All right, so yeah, because this is gonna be a wicked. It's gonna be a banging stream, bro. Trust me, bro. This is episode 4. Episode 4. We listen. I think this is one of my favorites so far, the lives where I just get to talk to you guys and do what I want and just enjoy the homely vibes that we bring you. Today is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As Zumundites, we have to take stuff like this very seriously. So listen very carefully to how I unpack today's show. Okay? So I'm just going to sort out something, leave you with some good vibes, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Bloody hell, I'm back. So yeah, for those that wanted to know what's happened, basically I had Pearl up in the studio playing the piano, which you lot don't even know that she does. But she was playing the piano, and I don't know if I set back up the stream to the stream coordinations. And my producer is currently working on something else. So hopefully this is working a-okay. We'll see anyway. If there's any problems, just let me know. If there's any problems with the stream, just let us know. Okay. All right. So how am I going to do this today? Okay. So this guy. Okay. Yeah, we got a few people. You know, it's always busy at our studios. So we got some guests and that's downstairs. So they'll be in and out of the building. But yeah, forget about that. What are we talking about? We're talking about at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a very serious matter that should be brought across to my MPs. So sensitive information. As from now, we will be unpacking that situation. Some orange juice for anyone that wants to know. Be unpacking that situation. So, what do we have for me today? First, we're going to start off with a nice and easy, a nice little one here. Let's see if it works first. You see, this is what I'm talking about. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Let me check. You see, listen. This is all on the fly. It's all original, upfront, in your face, live and direct. We're now getting to this professional stage where we could start doing lies professionally, adequately. But obviously, as you know, sometimes it doesn't quite go to plan. But I'm gonna have to make some phone calls. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I hear him. I hear him. Hear he. I hear him. Hear him. Okay. So let's get back to this and I'll sort it. I'll be back with you in like 2 seconds.
You should have started your show since.
All right, we're back. Listen, watch this. So, I'm going to go to here. I've got my top producer inside the building. Hold on 1 second.
Allegiance to...
Lord have mercy. Okay, thank you so much. Shit, what's that say? All right. Finally, we can proceed. So, let me pause this for me. Pause that stuff. Get that out the way. Okay. See how we could do this properly and effectively. All right. Perfect. Phones on silent. Stream is ready. Video is ready. Now, we'll go to this first. A whole load of bullshit. Let's go. Let's see. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, as I always do, give you an intro before I unpack this stream and what this stream is about and why I have called my ministry together in order to sort out what needs to be sorted out. Okay? So where should we start? Where we can start is the monarchy. And the separation of the monarchy and church. So, what I would like to do first is I wanna perfect. Okay, so we're just going to run through a quick little insight as to why the situation is the way it is, and I want to make sure that I get a good version of what we're talking about, because there's a lot out here. So we're trying to find the easiest one to digest. All right, we'll go with this one. All right, fair use.
Another 100-year stride through history. And this is Hampton Court, home to the most famous of all English kings. We're talking overweight. We're talking Tudor. We're talking 6 wives.
Exactly. Henry VIII. And how does Henry fit into this story we're telling?
How? I'm sure you're going to explain. How does Henry, and why are we starting at Henry VIII? And what has Henry VIII got to do with the separation between the church and the monarchy?
This story of power and of how people were ruled in England, well, I'll tell you. Do you remember the Becket story? Henry II takes on the power of the church and Becket ends up dead on the cathedral floor. Well, 400 years later, his namesake, Henry VIII, took on the power of the church again. And this time, he won.
By 1528, Henry had been married to Catherine of Aragon for 20 years, but he fancied Anne Boleyn, her lady-in-waiting. To divorce Catherine, he needed the permission of the church, which was controlled, remember, by the Pope in...
So understand this. We're at a scenario now where a situation where the King of England at the time, who was under the rules and the jurisdiction of the church, got married to his first wife. And when another woman was in waiting, he wanted to be able to get rid of her and marry his second wife. Now, this is how we've arrived at the state we are today. But you wouldn't know this because they don't tell you this stuff. In order for Henry VIII to marry his second wife, he needed the permission of the Pope at the time, because he was a Christian under Christian law. Okay? I want you to understand why I say this. It's very important why I say this.
Rome, and the Pope refused.
The Pope refused. I'm not going to divorce you and your wife when you're the King of England, mate. Do you know what kind of precedent that was set for the rest of Christians if you were allowed to do this?
What happened next was that Anne Boleyn gave Henry a book, and it was a banned book. It was illegal even to possess it, and it was written by a man called William Tyndale. Tyndale criticized the Pope. He dreamt of a new kind of Christianity that would sweep away the power of the earthly church and simply get back to people worshipping God with no church in between. And this book planted a seed in Henry's mind, because he realized if there was no Pope, he could get his divorce. And so just because Henry wanted to marry his mistress, the church in England split from the Church of Rome.
This is Revo in Yorkshire, one of numerous abbeys, monasteries, priories, closed down in what's now known as the Reformation.
It was all perfectly legal. Henry went to Parliament and he was declared the supreme head of the English church, and he set to work destroying the church's earthly power. And most...
I want... If you watch all of my lives, you would realize that I say gems and stuff that come from years and years of experience and years of knowledge. I say gems and it just drops out. So here's another gem for you lot. Here's another gem. I'm going to take a gander. I'm going to take a punt at something. Okay. As much as I'm being disturbed from left and right, because they probably don't want you to see this, but I will entertain you guys for the sake of my channel. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open two windows. One, sorry, don't blame me. And I'm going to open another one. Okay, so in the first one, as you can see, I'm going to type in Henry 5, 6, 7, 8. Henry the Eighth. Now, I want you to look at when Henry wait, first hold on, let's first, because you might not be able to see it here. Let me just give you a different view. All right. So it says that Henry the Eighth was born on the, I'm watching at this junction here, right? This under here, this part here I'm reading. It says Henry the Eighth was born the 28th of June, 1491. Died on the 28th of January, 1547. Okay? You say, but why is that important, Amiri? Why is that like of any significance to us, or any why should we care? Why should we care? Okay. Why should we care? All right. I would tell you why we should care. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just being disturbed. Yeah, why should we care? We should care, guys, because we're looking at a man right now who says he's a Christian. All right? And his brother, who was king before him. Wait, hold on. I don't know if this is right. Hold on. Don't even want to know why I put a Wikipedia if I'm not even going to use it. Who was king before Henry VIII? Now, his brother Arthur. There we go, Prince Arthur. Why you say, what's so interesting about Arthur? What's so interesting about King Arthur? Well, let's read and see what Wikipedia says. Wikipedia says King Arthur is a legendary king of Britain and a central figure in the medieval literary tradition known as the Matter of Britain. The Matter of Britain is the body of medieval literature and legendary material associated with Great Britain and Brittany, and the legendary king and heroes associated with it, particularly King Arthur. It was one of the three great Western story cycles recalled repeatedly in medieval literature. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Now, what these funny little brares, these funny little stooges, what I've realized over time is that their ability to hide things in plain sight. They're very good at this. They've learned it to a mastery, hiding things in plain sight. Okay. Now, if we took a little gander at his brother, King Henry, okay, we will go to the first bits of information what Wikipedia says about Henry VIII. Let's read. It says Henry VIII was King of England from 22nd of April 1509 until his death in 1547. Henry is best known for his 6 marriages and for his efforts to have his first marriage annulled. His disagreement with Pope Clement the Seventh about such an annulment led Henry to initiate the English Reformation, separating the Church of England from papal authority, basically the church's authority. He appointed himself supreme head of the Church of England and dissolved convents and monasteries, for which he was excommunicated by the Pope. I want you to read that carefully. Carefully. It goes on to read, domestically, Henry is known for his radical changes to the English constitution, expanding royal power and ushering in the theory of the divine right of kings. Now, you'd ask me, what, Amiri, is the divine right of kings? Don't worry. Wikipedia is here to tell you. It says, in European Christianity, the divine right of kings, divine right or God's mandation, is the political, and religious doctrine of political legitimacy of a monarchy. It stems from a specific metaphysical framework in which a monarch is, before birth, preordained to inherit the crown. But you say, I mean, why is that important? Why is that important to you in 2023? And already, my peoples, my citizens of Zamunda, you know that we don't mince around words when it comes to our lives and say anything for no reason other than to educate and entertain while we're doing it. Like I always say in every single one of my lives, the views you hear belong to me and are of opinion, not facts. They're opinion. So we cover ourselves from any legal disputes that you may have with the views that are represented on the channel. I must always caveat my videos. You learn this from the trade. But anyway, fair use, fair use. You say, why did you bring this up, Amiri? Why is it important? Why is it that at the time of Henry VIII and his brother, King Arthur, the British population and public wants you to think these fuzzy things about the rulers of the nation at the time. But unfortunately for them, unfortunately for me, unfortunately for you, I was educated in a different country. But you say, why is this important, Amiri? Why does this matter, Prince? Huh? Why does this matter? Do you know what? I'm going to put you out your misery. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. You know, we don't play around and eat up. Come on, we don't do that. We're not here to eat no food. We're here to educate you. Let's see what I'm looking at. I'm too good. I'm too good at this. You can't get nothing over on me or the citizens of Zamunda. Now people will say, but what are you looking at? All I see is the Atlantic slave trade. What is so fascinating about the Atlantic slave trade? And what the hell does that have to do with Henry VIII and King Arthur, the guy that you say pulled the sword out the stone? That was his claim to fame. But look what my interpretation of his claim to fame is. Okay, let's read this. Oh, you trying to pull a funny one on us, eh? You trying to pull a funny one on us. All right, we will get out of this. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, yeah. I hate when I have to do this, man. I hate when I have to do this, man. I hate when I have to do this. It says here, listen. It says, listen, between 1501 and 1867, nearly 13 million African people were kidnapped, forced onto European and American ships, and trafficked across the Atlantic Ocean to be enslaved, abused, forever separated from their homes, families, and cultures, and, most importantly, his mother effing religion. $1501, right? 1501, right? 1501, right? Let's see. Let's see when Henry and Arthur was about. Am I mincing my words now? But what does this got to do with today? What? Haven't you read the thumbnail and the title? Don't you know what this topic is about today? Have you been living under a rock? But wait, I always caveat my intros, my videos with information for you to dissect and be aware of before you watch something where they try to pull the wool over your eyes. I say, wait, hold on a minute. Something does not smell right whenever I am around and I hear or see something that is incorrect information or you're withholding information. Watch. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. So, let's go to all right. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. You see it? It says in November of 1501, the teenage couple were married. Months later, however, Arthur died of a sudden illness. And Henry became next in line for the throne and in 1503 was dethroned to his brother's widow. Henry VIII took the throne in 1509 at the age of 17 and married Catherine of Aragon 6 weeks later. Remember this, 1509. When was the slave Atlantic trade? Between 1501 and 1867. So something happened in the early 1500s. No? No? Am I lying? He needed to separate the monarchy of England from the church to which their jurisdiction relied upon, so he could marry his concubine. But at the same time, he is taking Africans and sending them to the Americas. And they're not human. Oh my God. Connect the dots, man. Like, do you need to... There didn't need to be YouTube back in the days in order for me to understand that the news that you get is what they want you to know. So you could discern for yourself whether or not you think the reason why Henry, who was already sleeping with his concubine, needed to break away from the church to marry his second wife, but yet at the same time he is dehumanizing people in one continent and being sold as cattle to another continent to better the empire of England, to which the monarchy so flagrantly tiptoe between now in 2023. I told you they can't put nothing past me, bruv. They can't. I was taught, like an old school, I was taught. Use your brain. That's how I was taught. So now Britain and the church are separated, where the monarchy is now the head of a new church that they've created. Okay? So let's delve in now. Now that we're up to that speed, let's go. Let's see now. Let's see. Now that we're up to speed.
The MPs went along with it because they, like Tyndale, mistrusted the power and wealth of the
Reformation.
Remember what we just went through for 10 minutes, bro. Literally, King Arthur and Henry, these two guys, this is the start of the transatlantic slave trade, yeah? This is the start of it. They are there at the start of it. What is also there at the start of it is this man's fascination with breaking away from the church, which has its own set of rules and regulations on how to treat people.
It was all perfectly legal. Henry went to Parliament and he was declared the supreme head of the English church, and he set to work destroying the church's earthly power. And most of the MPs went along with it because they, like Tyndale, mistrusted the power and wealth of the church. But also, the church had land.
See, you got to read between the lines, bro. Listen to what is going on, what's going on. Listen.
There was a killing to be made here, carving up the church's lands. The Reformation was the greatest land grab since the Norman conquest. And with all this new land, the power of the landed gentry in the
Hear the bullshit. What did he say?
lands. The Reformation was the greatest land grab since the Norman conquest.
When was the Norman conquest? I spelled that wrong, yeah. So what? All right. The Norman Conquest, or the Conquest, was the 11th century invasion and occupation of England by the army made of thousands of Normans, blah, 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 blah. So he says 11th century. Bullshit. Well, actually, he might be right because... Wait, hold on. Let's see what he says. Because these lot are very clever with how they say certain things.
The Reformation was the greatest land grab since the Norman conquest. And with all this new land...
That's so crazy to me that he would say that's the biggest land grab, but yet... I say, oh, why go there? I gotta go there, mate. I gotta go there. Gotta go there for ya. Yeah? 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 Yeah, that's a land grab. That's a land grab. Yeah? That's a land grab. That's the biggest land grab. That was the biggest land grab. But realize how he says it. Because Henry, when he broke up the church, they grabbed land from the church. But immediately after, they went into bloody Africa and took slaves. And land grabbed the US and the Caribbean. A couple years after. But they always leave it out the story. Make this guy sound king. What king? You were a thief. You were a womanizer. You were a murderer. You are corrupted. You are ungodly. That's what you are. Why deny it? In 2023, why deny it? I say, why? Let's go. Let's proceed.
And the power of the landed gentry in the 16th century rose yet further. But what made the Reformation so exciting was its impact on ordinary people.
I've come to St Michael's in Copford Green in Essex, not just to admire these magnificent wall paintings, but to show you this. It's a rood screen, not R-U-D-E, rood, but R-O-O-D. And in churches before the Reformation, screens like this separated the people who sat down there from the altar. Only the priest could approach the altar, because remember, the church taught that only through the church, through the priests, could the people be with God. And the
I'm not saying that. That's not my view. But that's what they believed at the time. Do you understand? Who are you to change it? Listen.
Reformation tore down these barriers between God and the people. And for the first time, people came to believe there was nothing separating them from God. God was with them. And this idea filled them with energy. It gave them hope. And another thing.
Oh, he should be so praised. He should be so praised for it. He should be so, we should thank him for this. We should be so honored that we no longer have to sit in the back like the niggers we would make sit in the back for the next 400 years. We're not in the back no more. We don't have to be in the back. We're England, the Church of England. Forget about Rome and her empire. Message. Forget about Rome and her empire. Because up to today we have Africans. Why isn't it the African Catholic Church? Why is it the Roman Catholic? Or the Greek Church? Understand your biases and how we see your biases and how people are so fooled by your biases that to me, I would never, the day I allow my judgment to be skewed by the color of your skin, because you look black, I'm supposed to believe you. That's pum vibes. You understand? But I just want to get through this quick. This is going to be a long ass stream because I made it so.
Happened with the Reformation. Bibles, for the first time, were printed in English. Before then, they'd all been in Latin. And when people came to read the Bible for themselves, what did they find? Wonderful stories of a man called Jesus who came to give hope not to the rich, but the poor. And stories of bad kings punished by God. So yes, the Reformation made Henry more powerful, but he had opened a can of worms.
Fair use. Fair use. Okay. So that was basically Henry separating the church from the monarchy. But you say, why? Why did I bring this up? Why does this matter? Why does something that which happened hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago matter? I'll tell you why. So as I do as the greatest YouTube consumer there is to be, myself, hi, I stumbled across a story that made my spider senses tingle, bro, as it always does. And for the next, I want to say, for the next hour or so, I'll be going through this story with you guys. And we're going to come to some sort of conclusion as to why we're being fed this information. And is this information important to us, or should it be thrown with all the rest of information. Okay, now we have some people in the studio that you lot might be able to hear. I think it sounds like our PA, sounds like security, sounds like King Richard, sounds like a couple of guests chatting, having discussions. But anyway, let's pull this video up. Okay.
Canterbury, who's head of the Church of England, will ask millions of British subjects around the world to swear allegiance to King Charles during his
Oh, hell no! Ho! Are you mad? Are you not smoking food? Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to what? Do you know what's so amazing to me? That we live in a country where the propaganda of the day is to let... These guys are just talking loud. But the vibe of today, it was actually throwing off my chain of thoughts. But the vibe of today is to have everyone fall under the notion that somehow, in some way, the England and Great Britain and the United Kingdom is in any way the pinnacle of democracy. Did we vote for the Windsors? Did we vote for the Windsors? If that's their name. Did we vote you in? Look at the game they play. Look at the game. Listen, they're commanding Christians now. So now we're a Christian state now. Yeah? We're a Christian state now. I thought we were secular. I thought we were a secular state. So understand my frustration when I hear things like this.
The Archbishop of Canterbury, who's head of the Church of England, will ask millions of British subjects around the world.
Who the fuck is a subject? Do you lot think this is 1501 or something? They could just bring these words out and you just have to feel like patriotic. Oh, for my country. Oh. Who falls for this, bruv? Oh, they bring out the magic stone, the stone of Scotland, and the crown jewels, and the jackets, and call him this and call him that, and no, I knight you, and no. Bro, you must think I am dumb. I'm Prince of Zamunda, and I don't even make my people them pledge allegiance. What makes you think you're special, mate? Pledge allegiance. Are you mad? Simply, you have run out of knights that do knightly duties because a man is not allowed to be a knight in these days. It must be a woman. But not enough women want to be knights. Bro, there is a woman on the news giving you the story. Where is feminism in this story? Because they are here and everywhere, they're here. Where is the flower plus Q people in the story? They must be here. They have to be here. It's a secular state.
Swear allegiance to King Charles during his coronation next Saturday. The public pledge, dubbed a chorus of millions.
Chorus of millions, bro. They so want you to fall in and line up and assimilate into their backwards, to put it kindly, way of thinking. The crown that they so eloquently put on the screen has jewels on it stolen from people that you now want to pledge allegiance to. You can't make this shit up. Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning monarch we've had. And with her long reign, she was afforded certain she was afforded certain exceptions that if you brought to us today, we still would reject it, even if it was Elizabeth II. Who in their right mind is going to Westminster Abbey to put their knees on the floor and pledge allegiance to a man and not allegiance to the one and true God? But he says he's the head of this church under this jurisdiction, as if God is going to say, listen, I'm going to take the Church of England and raise my people up, and every other Christian are expelled from my place of paradise. As if your jurisdiction is better than anyone else's jurisdiction. As if you have nothing to answer for. But hear he. Let's hear what he has to say.
Is one of several striking changes to the ancient ceremony. Female clergy will play a prominent role.
I told you. They can't. Let me explain something to you about this system. This system relies on men being weak. And women being strong in order for you to continue to be led down the effing garden path. So forget the fact that this guy is wearing a crown with jewels stolen from your people. Forget the fact that this guy wants to change traditions, just like a monarch 400 years ago wanted to change traditions. Forget the fact that the guy that wanted to change the traditions did it for women on the small scale side and slaves on the big scale side. Forget about all of that. Forget that you must plead allegiance to this guy by the Archbishop of Canterbury. I'm not even going to get into priests and what they do in their extracurricular activities, bruv. But forget about all of that. Forget about what you have to say on the oath. What does the oath say you have to say? Okay. I just got to do this for you. All right. All who so desire in the Abbey and elsewhere say together, I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. I'm going to read that for you dumbwits one more time. Look where it says it. It says it here. This is what they want you to say. Look, it says it here. They want you to say this. They want you to say this. I swear that I will pay true allegiance, not fake, true allegiance to your majesty. Okay. True allegiance to his majesty. Okay. And to his hairs. This is not hairs as in pubic hairs. This isn't hairs as in William, Harry, what's the Ben, Scotty, all of these the new ones. These new ones. So not just allegiance to this day and age, where it's the ending of what we think is the monarchy, where it has no use for today, but you must pledge allegiance. But I thought it didn't mean nothing. I thought the monarch don't do anything. They're just there as a you know, what do you call it? They're just there as an ornament. It's not, come on, they don't do nothing. You know, the land that they own now, yeah, under the crown, it don't mean nothing that we stole it from the church, from the people. It don't mean nothing. What means something is that you pledge allegiance to me or my sons and daughters. That's what's important. Because we need to continue this system that we have, that we feel like we're losing out from, because people are waking up. People are not watching BBC News. They're on YouTube watching guys like me show you things like this, so you don't have to go to girls like flipping D's to get your news, mate. You're not on news. You're on YouTube watching guys like me showing you stuff like this, so you don't have to watch women like this lie to your sons and lie to your daughters, lie to your brothers and lie to your sisters about how fascinating and nice it would be for you to pledge allegiance to a man and his children. Unelected. A family of thieves and murderers. Not my words, not my opinions. The words of you guys and your opinions. And that's what I got from the 5 seconds that she started speaking. Do you know what these people are like? I'll tell you what they're like. They're the type to say, we are going to war with Ukraine, or we're going to war with China, and we're going to conscript men and women. You should be happy that women are being conscripted as well. Like, it's so fair for you girls that you could actually do it as well. You could join the war. But what they're doing, they're making you look that way about something that's small and minuscule, yeah, a battle that you've won. They've given you the battle, but they've won the war because you're going to war now with China when you didn't even want to go war. But what they've done, they've said, okay, wait, what, black people, okay, we have black people in our army. We have white people. Everyone's just in the army. Why are you complaining? Do you understand? So they're saying, listen, people of England, we have a coronation coming up where you have to pledge allegiance, pledge your life and your soul for some weird gingerbread that's robbed you and your family, yeah, and sit down and dictate, yeah, to you unelectedly, undemocratically about how you should be living your lives. And then you have a priest that's coming on to tell you, listen, you should listen to him, even though he broke away from the church, bruv. His family broke away from the church. His institution broke away from the church, bruv. to form their own thing. Like he's God, bruv. Oh my. Like she's God. Oh my. How weird. But hear he.
The first time, and the king himself will pray out loud. Here's our religion editor.
Ooh. For the first time he'll pray out loud. Ooh. Things that 2 billion people do every day. Ooh. So you could hear what he says. The paganism and the masonry that you will see on display at this coronation is going to make the presidential candidate look like a joke. The cups and the stones and the sorcerers and the magic trinkets and stuff that they pulled out from nowhere that you like, wait, hold on a minute. Do you need to touch this and put your hand on this and kiss this rock in order to do this and pull this one and that one has to say this and it's very, very like this, or on this corner you have to stand on this pulpit here, under this watch of hair, from the light shining from that angle, it has to be this of this. Bro, you're going to see so much paganism and so much masonry on this weekend coming up that it would make the American dollar bill the new Riyadh. Bro, they're not going to play.
Ball.
Laying her hand upon the Bible.
See what I'm saying? Laying that hand upon the Bible while she sits down by the priest. But bro, it started. She has to do something with the Bible, though. And it's not no normal Bible. Watch.
She reaffirms her oath.
We now know there's much in the coronation service that won't change.
Yo, listen to what they're saying to you, bro.
Not just from 1953, but from centuries of coronations before it.
So help me God.
This is the Bible Queen Elizabeth kissed
See what I'm trying to say, bro? You see what I'm trying to say, bro?
during her coronation service. And this, the brand new one on which the king will...
You see what I'm trying to say? Read what that says. I'll take it off so you could see it. Read what that says. It says the Holy Bible, Coronation Edition. Bloody hell. These guys, they just do blasphemy after blasphemy after blasphemy, bro. This is blasphemy right here. I don't believe in God. I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not why you're here. You're here for information and education and entertainment, giving you that stuff in an entertaining way. This is what we're here for, bruv. Look at this blasphemy here. Are you listening to what it's saying? It says the Holy Bible, Coronation Edition. It says it's an exact reprint in Roman type, page for page, line for line, and letter for letter of the King James Authorized Version published in the year 1611. Bro, I literally must live in a bubble. If I have to explain to you guys why they are using a Bible, not my words, the flipping Bible's words, yeah? Why they're using a version of the King James published in 1611. 1611. Bro, you are literally seeing it here live in the flesh. I am not making up nothing. You can't say I said this. You can't say that Amiri's lying. You can't say nothing, bro. Listen. Listen. This book. This book, people. This book, the significance of, you see it here, the 1611 King James Bible had a extreme effect. Had an extreme effect on the culture we assimilate to today. I wonder. All right. So let's read what they say about it. Not me, not my words. You guys on your internet, on your websites. Not my websites, your websites. What do they say about the 1611 King James Bible? I hate I've got to do this sometimes, bro, because it's like, look at it. It says, finally, in 1611, the King James or Authorized Bible appeared. The product of a team of 50 scholars, it relied extensively on Tyndale's work, using around 80% of this once heretical translation. It remains the most printed work in English in the world. It's not my words, mate. It's you guys, wait. In that version, along with no J's being in it, was also you see, like the thing about YouTube, you think they're just gonna give you the answer the first time you ask it. No, they know what you want to know. They know what you want to know. They know what you want to know. They know what you, why. The King James Bible formed the emerging Protestant Christianity of the Anglo-American world, bro. And that claim is stunning in its own right. But the text had an impact even beyond that, shaping the whole culture of the English-speaking world, bro. You need to understand the importance of the 1611 King James Bible. Are you seeing this? Let's go to let me see if they're playing a game. Okay. Aha. 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 You see the difference one word makes to Google as to the information it wants to tell you? Do you see it? Let's look at it. Not only was it the first people's Bible, but its poetic cadences and vivid imagery have had an enduring influence on Western culture. Not just English culture, Western culture. In 1604, England's King James I authorized a new translation of the Bible aimed at settling some thorny religious differences in his kingdom and solidifying his own power. Understand why they use that Bible. You see, there is a thing that is called let's get to it. Look at this. Listen. The Dead Sea Scrolls are ancient Jewish and Hebrew religious manuscripts discovered between 1946 and 1956. Bro, we'll come back to this. Look, let's go.
Swear his oaths.
Matthew.
Those oaths go unchanged, but before them, the Archbishop of Canterbury will explain the Church wants to ensure people of all faiths and beliefs live freely.
So there's nothing that offends against Christian worship, but we are very clear that our society today is very different from 1953, and that means there needs to be a clear recognition of all the elements of society.
Well, those new details from Lambeth Palace show there will be a hymn sung in Welsh, in Irish Gaelic and Scottish Gaelic, but also that for the first time there will be significant involvement from people of non-Christian backgrounds, both during the service and also with faith leaders greeting the King at the end of it. These elements are no surprise for a king who's long been known for his engagement with people of other faiths.
Come and have a seat.
He's formed a long association with Holocaust survivors, and this year he met with Martin Stern, a man who survived the Nazi concentration camps and came to Britain as a 12-year-old.
To be received by the head of state of this fantastic country, it's beyond words.
Big man, did you hear that? Listen, again. Gotta do this, bro.
Those oaths go unchanged, but before them, the Archbishop of Canterbury will explain the Church wants to ensure people of all faiths and beliefs live freely. Nation service that won't change.
Her oath.
We now know there's much in...
Editor Ali Mutball.
Right.
Laying her hand upon the Bible, she reaffirms her oath.
We now know there's much in the coronation service that won't change, not just from 1953, but from...
Queen Elizabeth was coronated in 1953, bruv. Okay. Oh, wrong one, sorry. There we go. You see, look at this. Where was this? Where was the Dead Sea Scrolls found? It was found in a place that was what was then called Mandatory Palestine in the West Bank, on the northern shore of the Dead Sea, bro. So let me get this right. In World War One, the English and the French tricked Russia into joining a war against Germany, offering them Constantinople. Bro, you see, if you don't know your history, bruv, I don't know why I have to break it down for you guys, bro. In World War One, Russia was tricked into almost fighting in a war against Germany in the hopes that they would get Constantinople. You say, what? Why is Constantinople so important? How many times do I have to do this every day, bro? Okay. We're looking at Constantinople. Okay. We're looking at Constantinople. It says here, Constantinople became the capital of the Roman Empire upon its founding in 330, following the collapse of the Western Roman Empire in the late 5th century. Constantinople remained the capital of Eastern Roman Empire, the Latin Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. Why was Constantinople so bloody important? So let's go down here and look at a map of the world. All right. Okay. This is modern day Turkey, and this is Constantinople. But if you zoom in, you would see a strait that separates the east side of Constantinople and the west side of Constantinople. There is a strait going directly through that leads on to the Mediterranean Sea. Okay? This is Constantinople here. There was a straight right here, just like the straight over here. There's another straight here, all right, that you could take and you could get to the other side. So you don't have to go, there's a straight there, going straight through. So you don't have to go all the way around Africa to get to this side. So you could just pass through here. So here has another strait. Okay? Understand why I say this to you. It's important that you know this. That Russia, which is here, and is fighting currently for this piece of land here, called Crimea, for those that don't know. This piece here is what Russia is fighting for right now, as well as this space here. We will get to why Ukraine has Crimea right now, but what is important is here. You see, at that time, around the rise of France and Britain, okay, maybe I could show my face. The rise of France and Britain, as small as England was, I'm gonna have to open because I need to come back to that point. It will make sense. It will make sense. Lovely. Okay. So what I am looking at right now remember what I said, you have to type it in exact, otherwise Google is going to make you think you don't know what you're talking about. All right. Google is saying this, not me. Google is saying this. So when you say, where'd you get your information from? Listen, my lives are so different to everyone else's because I go. You say, well, oh, why you spend so much time typing and showing us pages and pages and this and that evidence and that, bro? I do it so you can't say this guy made this up, bro. The knowledge that he had in the head, he didn't make it up, bro. Listen to what it says, bro. Listen to what Google says. I'll move my face so it doesn't distract you. Listen, it says in 1914. The Royal Navy was by far the most powerful navy in the world. The Royal Navy's basic responsibilities included policing colonies and trade routes, defending coastlines, and imposing blockades on hostile powers. Now can you understand why Russia here felt that it can join on a world war with the new colony of Germany? Yeah? In return for giving them, yeah, Constantinople. Because Russia wanted its own navy that could reside in the Black Sea. So you might not have seen that. So I was saying, Russia's here, right? Russia's here, right? And Britain, who had the most powerful navy alongside France, tricked Russia into joining their world war against Germany in the hope that Britain and France will give Russia Constantinople. But you say, but why is that tricked? Because they had no intention of giving them Constantinople. But what did they need to do? They needed to make the Ottoman Empire, yes. Oh, you know I touched an, oh. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Yes, baby. Look at the Ottoman Empire. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Here is the Black Sea. And here is Constantinople. Why would Britain and France offer Russia Constantinople when you could clearly see in this picture that Constantinople wasn't theirs to give? It's because they knew that if by any chance the Russians would join their alliance, that it would force the Ottoman Empire with no other choice than to join Germany. How about that for a take? Do you know why they wanted the Ottoman Empire to join Turkey? Because they wanted Constantinople. But what was more important than Constantinople, you might say? Well, let's go back to that map again. Let's go back to this map again. Here is Constantinople. All right. And I'm assuming that the dark green areas are the areas that the Ottoman Empire held as their territory. And every other region that is in the light green is areas, you see, it says it there, that we didn't really, we're there, but we're not really there. But look in this area here. What did they want, people? What did they want? They wanted Israel. They wanted it. You see, there's no point calling it the Roman Catholic Church or the Greek Orthodox Church if the area is run by Arabs who are Muslims. As Semitic as they are, and as unsemitic we are, we need there to be a reason why we could have this space right here, as our own. Okay? These Arabs here are in control of land that holds secrets to our religion. But you say, what are you talking about? See, Amiri doesn't just say something without like having the source to back him up. So let's go back to what I was to this part here. Let's go back to this part here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So the Dead Sea Scrolls were found in an area around the time of the end of the Second World War and the ending of the Ottoman rule in that area, where they found scrolls that contradicts the Bible that we were using. Let me repeat that so people that could hear and hate could hear me clearly. Where the Arabs were residing, under them was information which brought down the whole house of cards. That was discovered in 1940 something. Now, you say, what does that matter? Well, the Queen was coronated a few years after. But she's not using the new Bible with the changes that occurred from the Dead Sea Scrolls findings. No. She's using a Bible from hundreds of years ago. A Bible that was kissed upon while Britain had slaves. Why is this important? Because faith, as fickle as it can be for some people, is the rock for others. Why does it matter? Just pledge allegiance to this guy and done. Forget about what you say. They're just words. It's what they want you to think. But why would it require millions of people from around the world to pledge allegiance to this guy who is clearly using the old school Bible to put his hand upon and kiss unelectedly, so his subjects, us, can pseudo worship him and follow his every will as we're on the verge to go to World War III with a country that we tricked so we could get our hands on the thing that would break us and crumble us and stop us from tricking the people. And we're going to call it the People's Book. Bro, you can't bring down this pomp to me, bruv. No man can't tell me to go on inside of a church, yeah, and sit down and watch two men in front of a priest be married in the same institution that thousands of God-fearing people went in. And that's the guy that tells me that he thinks I should pledge allegiance to the king. Somehow, I don't think so. I don't care. I don't think so. It's a lot to unpack, bro. It's a lot to unpack, and like, it's like a tree, where it's like, in order for you to understand this, I have to just show you this, and in order for you to get that, you have to know this, and in order for you to get that, and be like, oh, so why is he going left, right? He doesn't. Is he cuckoo for cuckoo puffs?
Centuries of coronations before it.
So help me God.
This is the Bible Queen Elizabeth kissed during her coronation service. And this, the brand new one on which the king will swear his oaths.
Matthew.
Those oaths go unchanged, but before them, the Archbishop of Canterbury will explain the Church wants to ensure people of all faiths and beliefs live freely.
So there's
You man are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
nothing that offends against Christian worship, but we are very clear that our society today is very different from 1953, and that means there needs to be a clear recognition of all the elements of society.
Well, those new...
We didn't care about it before. Around them times, we were still segregating. We were still colonizing.
Details from Lambeth Palace show there will be a hymn sung in Welsh, in Irish Gaelic and Scottish Gaelic, but also that for the first time there will be significant involvement from people of non-Christian backgrounds, both during the service...
Bro, basically just say hey, LGBT, bruv. Just say that, bruv. The reason why we want to include everyone, including Muslims, Sikhs and all of this, is so we could also include the LGB as well. That's why. inclusive. It's inclusive.
And also with faith leaders greeting the king at the end of it. These elements are no surprise for a king who's long been known for his engagement with people of other faiths.
Come and have a seat.
He's formed a long association with Holocaust survivors, and this year he met with Martin Stern.
Did I not just go through about half an hour to 20 minutes of you getting to this point? So when we hear certain things, just know what I am talking about.
A long association with Holocaust survivors, and this year he met with Martin Stern, a man who survived the Nazi concentration camps and came to Britain as a 12-year-old.
Hey, do I just say thing? Hey, yo. But you see, knowing what you know now from the information I showed you in terms of the Ottoman Empire and the Zion people, them, the isms, I showed you the whole play. Well, not even the whole play, just a bit of the play. I showed you a bit of the play, enough for you to understand why when they mention certain things like this, it gives a different flavor to me. Spider senses tingle in different ways, and people are like, what's he talking about? What's he mad about? What's he fussying about? Like a million things go through my brain, and I'm like, I understand the pieces of the puzzle, but it will take so long to unpack 30-something years of programming for me to connect all the dots for you.
To be received by the head of state of this fantastic country, you know, it's beyond words. It means a terrific lot. We were treated as rubbish, you know, fit to be burnt, ground up and disposed of in landfill. And here I was having tea with the King and the Queen.
Though there will be many who criticise how exclusive the monarchy is, that service here in Westminster Abbey will still be, by far, the most inclusive there's ever been. Ali Maqbool, BBC News.
Well, as we heard,
right.
The Pledge of Allegiance, or the homage of the people, to give it...
Okay.
Well, as we heard, the Pledge of Allegiance, or the homage of the people...
Why is this dumb bitch smiling? Why is this a smiling story? This is what pisses me off with her. Like, why are you smiling?
To give it its official title marks a break with tradition. Previously, only lords at the coronation service had to recite a form of words.
Yeah, because they were willing to go to war for their king. Now, are you suggesting that we're going to be going to war soon and we need to be doing allegiances? Because this ain't America. This is Britain. We did what we had to do over here. And we're still trying to do what we have to do. But don't come around us with this new thing about pledge allegiance thing. Don't try sucker us into no nationalism thing, bro. Don't try sucker us in. Don't try and misguide my people and bring a woman with a kamar or a hijab for me so I could feel like, okay, yeah, or a Jewish guy in a skull cap, or a priest with chains on and pink top and a pride t-shirt on, to come and try confuffle my brain about pledge allegiance.
So this is the text of the pledge. It reads, I swear...
Look what it reads. Big men and women, I want you to listen what big men and women are going to be saying about a next man that is old enough to be their great-granddad, that's did so much mad things. Done the mad things.
That I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and your heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Other countries, of course, like the United States, require a patriotic verse to be recited.
See? But anyway, let's go back to that. Because we got to this point now. Well, that's what I was going to tell you later. So it says, I swear that I pay a true allegiance to your majesty and your heirs. Heirs mean your children. And then it says after,
to your majesty and your heirs
and successors. So you are pledging allegiance to his family members who are not even king or queen. Sounds cultish, isn't it? I must pledge allegiance to the king, his heirs, and successors, according to the law. So help me God. It's not pledge allegiance to his heirs and successors according to the law of God, or heir and successors according to God. No, it's heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Let me see something. Because you know I always want to see something. But every time I say I want to see something and I show you want to see something, that's when everybody, yo, I had a man then calling me like, yo, you're hotting up, watch your life and that. But fire bond that, man. I don't care, bruv. Watch it. All right. Let's see. So, this is what I'm looking at. It says here, Magna Carta was issued in June 1215 and was the first document to put into writing and principle that the king and his government was not above the law. But it also says the British monarch can't be arrested or be the subject of civil and criminal proceedings, meaning he is effectively exempt from the law. King Charles enjoys sovereign immunity, meaning he can't be prosecuted under a civil or criminal investigation. This rule also applied to the late Queen Elizabeth II. In accordance with the law, the land, the law, the England. Shut the F up. Shut up. So you and your stupid self, out for the first time. Remember what I said about they give you something? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to war and girls could come. So you're not really thinking, but wait, why are we going to war? You're just thinking, oh yeah, we're all inclusive. They're basically saying, listen, everyone's included. You could be a trans and pledge allegiance to your king under the law. So help me God. You could be black and do it. You could be white and do it. You could be Indian and do it. Or did you know that the Prime Minister is going to come and do his thing too? You could do it too. Hey, look, I'm an Indian guy and I'm showing you, look, in all my Indians, come do it as well. Come, do it as well. Hey. Don't fall for the trap. Google said it, not me. It says clearly, the British monarch can't be arrested or be subject. You're a subject, but they can't be subject of civil and criminal proceedings, meaning he is effectively exempt from the law. But he wants you, and the Archbishop of Canterbury wants you, and this stupid woman here, this smiley face stupid mug over here. Where is she? Where's the mug? There's the mug. Smiling. Smiling. Misinforming men and women across the flipping nation, but she's smiling. Bruv, you can't make this up, bro. Hey, what you are doing? You should be pledging allegiance. This is Nigeria. Or what? Or in Australia, oh yes, we pledge allegiance to the king. Or in Canada, oh, pledge allegiance to the king. Everyone pledge allegiance to the king. Under law, according to God, you know you shouldn't upset God unless you're Henry VIII. And you want to divorce your wife and you want to marry your side thing. Then it don't matter about God. Unless you're the monarch and you want to have slaves. Then it doesn't matter anymore. Bro, do not try and confuffle my brain, bro.
And I can't help wonder whether maybe that's what they're thinking. You know, obviously, if people are going to do it, you can imagine there's a good chance they're going to film themselves doing it and post it onto Twitter or.
I would rinse out anyone that tries
to your Majesty and your heirs and successors.
I'm saying this now. If I see that, I'm gonna hot you up on here. If anyhow I see any of my black brothers or black sisters posting any of this nonsense about you pledge allegiance on my Instagram page, yeah, and you come up, I'm naming and shaming you, bruv. You know, back in the days when what movie was this from, man? is it? Where is it, man? You know what I'm talking about, man? Where is it? I literally can't find it, bruv. Like where is it? Hey, found it. Look.
Shame. 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 Shame.
That's what man them are gonna get.
Shame.
That's what the gal them are gonna get. You think you could come and post about you pledge allegiance to King Charles and think man ain't gonna do this?
Shame. 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 Shame.
That's what you're getting, mate. Do you understand? That's what you're getting. See if on Saturday, me see any of you lot do that.
According to law, so help me God. Other countries, of course, like the United States, require a patriotic verse to be recited by...
Firebomb the United States and their patriotic verse, bruv. But pledging allegiance to our flag. They're even worse than England, making you pledge allegiance to a man. Now they want you to pledge allegiance to an inanimate object that men waved to bring you down and abuse you with that same flag. That's what you lot pledge allegiance to. Tell me about no America.
Governing officials and in most schools on a daily basis. And although the coronation is a rare event and the homage entirely optional, it is something new here in Britain. Well, Jack Royston is the chief royal correspondent for Newsweek, and I asked him what he made of the pledge's inclusion, given that it wasn't in the 1953 ceremony.
They need you to pledge, bro. They need, because bro, how many people in England realistically give a F about the monarch, bro? About millions and millions. Get the hell out of here. What are they talking about? Don't confuse Queen Elizabeth's love for Prince Charles' love and the monarch's love. People loved Queen Elizabeth by the mere fact that she has always been there before they were even born, bro. Before people are born, they've always known about her or had her or in their lives. Or it's a different feeling than watching this guy walk around with a crown and hear people tell me about pledge allegiance to him. In 2023, you lot are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Money.
Obviously, social media didn't exist in 1953, and I can't help...
Thank God it didn't. Otherwise, we would have been already captured.
Wonder whether maybe that's what they're thinking. You know, obviously, if people are going to do it, you can imagine there's a good chance they're going to film themselves doing it and post it onto Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or whatever they use. But I do also slightly wonder whether they might have kind of opened a door here for anti-monarchy campaigners.
You think? You was okay in your quiet little corner having your little demonic ceremonies by yourself. Don't try and involve us. Otherwise, when you involve us in your mad thing, yeah, we're going to stir up the pot to say, listen, hold on a minute. Hold on a flipping Scooby Snacks. Do you know what that's like for years you sat down and watch someone take half of your food, even though they've got their own food, take half of your food and eat it right in front of you. And you don't complain or say anything about it. But then one day they complain and they say, bruh, I should have more than half of your shit. And then you in your head sit down and think, well, wait, hold on a minute. I'm already giving you half of my stuff and you have a whole of your stuff. In fact, you ain't getting none of my stuff. You keep your stuff and I'm going to keep my stuff. Sometimes when you bring up something, an injustice from the person that's doing the injustice, the person that the injustice is done on is realizing that there is an injustice done against them, so they no longer want to have an injustice done on them. But now he makes it sound like that's a bad thing. We need the monarch for tourism, when they come and see Buckingham Palace. But your power extends further than just tourism. As I just showed you before, they are practically above the law. And this is why the institution of the monarch can no longer survive in 2023. Because under 2023's vision for the future, we should all be under the law. We should all be able to be judged by 12. Despite how rich you are, how powerful you are, how weak you are, or how poor you are. That's what makes justice so fair. But here, we're going to be schooled on fairness and what we should and shouldn't do.
To kind of get a new tool for raising their campaign at the coronation. Obviously, it's a big day for them as well, which they've been preparing for many, many years as well. And I could well believe that they might well hijack it with a slightly alternative message for the...
England is a democracy, supposedly. In the same breath of them throwing this garbage down your throat, they are now saying that people who are opposed to that idea are going to hijack them throwing this stuff down your ear. Bro, every time I pause, it's a thinking moment, bro. It's for you to sit down and think for like just 2 seconds. Hear what I'm saying to you. This brother here, amongst his other stooges, his other penny, you know the bum clutching penny guys. They don't want the penny to drop, so they clutch their ass cheeks. These guys. These guys here want you and people around the world to pledge allegiance to a man and not God, a man and not God. And if you hijack the undemocratic institution that is the monarch, you are hijacking their democracy, bro. You can't make this up.
On Coronation Day.
Yes, you think it does open them up to a bit of vulnerability there. And also, I suppose, the question is millions of people around the world. I mean, at a time when there are places in the Commonwealth who are talking about breaking...
That's what I'm trying to say to you. For instance, Jamaica. India. Canada.
Way, would you expect millions of people to be, shouting at the telly, in terms of shouting their allegiance, or maybe just shouting at the telly?
Well, absolutely. In those Commonwealth realms, you're talking about countries like Jamaica.
Hear how they talk. Hear how they talk. His words, not mine, bro. His words, not mine. Man said in the Commonwealth realm. Is that what he said?
Well, absolutely. In those Commonwealth realms, you're...
Bruh. Oh my gosh. Okay, check this out. Man said realm. Just check the use of their language, bro.
Realm.
You see it? These guys still live in that fantasy of we control the earth. They honestly think that. They still think they control the earth. Realm, Hey. Now that you know that realm means kingdom, like a kingdom, yeah, they still think it's the British Empire, bro.
Maybe just shouting at the telly.
Well, absolutely. In those Commonwealth realms, you're talking
like this is what I mean, bruv. You might just have heard a sentence. I heard everything. But why are you always upset? Why are you so always agitated? Why do you always stress? Because I hear these terms and these words to which I know what they mean. And I know what they mean. I know what they want you to think when they say these things. I know they want you to fly in one ear out the other, but it just sticks in there, and you just get accustomed to the way they speak about the millions that would turn out before the event has even started. The millions that would shout at their TVs in allegiance. How do they know? They want to create that atmosphere before it happens. Because if King Charles comes to Westminster Abbey and 10 people show up, people would know the jig is up. I can't remember exactly what the term is to hand right now on my head, but it's manufactured consent. Do you know, I'm going to do a show on manufacturing consent soon. So you lot should stick around for that. But make sure you remind me to do a show on manufacturing consent, because it will be like this, but a breakdown, bro. It will be a breakdown just like this, bro, where we're together on this, trying to break down what's really happening, like what people are talking about when they say things, bruv. And they think man is stupid. Yeah? So, yeah.
Countries like Jamaica, which has given a very strong indication that there's going to be an independent referendum. So yes, you're right. I would imagine in some of those countries, it's much more likely to be shouting at the TV. And, you know, the word allegiance...
Oh, it's just those Jamaicans and one or two other countries. Bro. I don't even want to go into...
It's a strong word for a lot of people, and I think particularly in those countries that were part of the empire.
You think? Pledge allegiance to the king? You think?
Many, many years ago, and have been on a long journey towards becoming...
The king and his heirs? And his successors? According to the law that they create and change at any time, so help me God. I'm swearing to God that I will follow the law that you change. And under that law that you change, I would follow your heirs and your successors and you. Allegiance to you and no one else, not based on truth, but based on the fact that you are flipping born a Windsor.
Stand on their own 2 feet and are much more independent from Britain. But honestly, I think there probably will be quite a lot of people
under threat that you would kill me, or persecute me, or kill my people, or persecute my people. You must be cotton picking mad.
In Britain too, who see that issue the same way and would not particularly view their relationship with monarchy as one in which they pledged allegiance. But of course, for the royalists, this, you know, I'm sure there will absolutely be people doing this. And you might remember that after the Queen died, there were crowds gathered outside the gates of Buckingham Palace.
Don't piss me off. What were the crowds there for?
Who kind of spontaneously burst into singing "God Save the King."
Bro, that one was such, yo. You see, like how they say on the January, whenever ting when they stormed the Capitol in America, yeah? And they said there was inside guys that were there directing, allegedly, people to do and break the law. It's the same thing over here, allegedly, where they work very hard to sway and direct public opinion the way they want it to be swayed. So when I see people do things like this, when we live in a population that is mainly republic in nature, it makes my spider senses tingle. Now, it could be that it's, okay, yeah, it could happen. But then it could also be that, yeah, it could happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think those are the people who are going to be doing this Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, it's we had this poll recently for Panorama, the BBC's Panorama programme, didn't we, from YouGov, which we looked at the support for the monarchy, and it was people who were the over 65s were the most likely to say that they supported the monarchy, and at 18 there was a 78% support among them, and 18 to 24-year-olds the least likely, with just 32% backing the monarchy. So it is.
Did you see that Kansas City shuffle that she did just now? This is what I mean when I say things. Because check this out. Let's look at these numbers again. Let's look at the numbers.
24-year-olds, the least likely, with just 32%.
32%. So that means that 68% of people Yeah, 68% of people between the ages of 18 to 24, according to YouGov, do not or will not associate themselves with no goddamn monarch. Now, why didn't you just say 68% and just have to specify the low number? It's because your brain goes in and out the other. You hear numbers and figures, and you hear about the over 65s, this, they over this, most of them over this, and under 6 to 24 to 25, boom, 24. You just bring numbers, just blah, 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 yeah? But what I'm trying to show to you now is basically young people that were not alive when Queen Elizabeth became coronated or watched her rule in full, don't care about no monarchy. But they want you really to care about it. They need you to care. They need you to be a royalist. So you could continue to be under the assumption that there is people existing on the land that you reside in and pay tax for and determine the laws and then show you that they are above the law. And once you can accept that there are people who by birth are not allowed to be judged in a civil or criminal court exists, then the most powerful are excluded from thought when it comes to making a change and getting the criminal elements out of the top. Why is this important? Because right now we have a country called Great Britain and a country called United States of America, part of a NATO force, who has unofficial, undemocratically inside of a foreign state waging a war against an adversary that could destroy the whole world. Without foresight, without oversight, without judgment, without votes, without permission. It is imperative that you stand up for your rights. And your rights include hoping that one day the royal family can be tried for crimes if they commit them. And that no one is above the law, and no one is above God's law. No matter how much times you separate yourself from the church and called your church and protest that that is your church. Man.
Backing the monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it?
Just put that on loop for a second.
24-year-olds, the least likely, with just 32% backing the monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? Monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? Monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? Monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it?
Why isn't the fucking older generation targeted? They are for it. Right, woman? They're for it. So why don't you target them to not be for it? So we could get these fuckers out of there. Hear her language. It is the younger generation.
Absolutely.
It is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be.
They, who is they? You decide who they should be targeting. You know, when you put up a target, like a target, you should be targeting them. Don't put the target up. We're targeting these guys. This is who they should be targeting. Her words, or the words of the BBC. Hear how they speak. Hear the propaganda. Shame the devil and tell the truth. Hear what she said.
Backing the monarchy. So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? So it is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it? It is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it?
So okay. So it's okay for you fucking sons of a bitches to target the children, yeah? But when it was Andrew Tate, he was the most hated man in the world. The most dangerous man. Because he's targeting our young kids. The most impressionable minds. So it's okay to target them and tell them that it's okay to pledge allegiance to a man that would not be judged and tried in any court that they set up because he was born to rule over them. From an institution that had and held slaves, that once thought that a man was half of a man. Wants to tell you that you should be careful of a man that's telling your kids they need to be together, married. So they're stronger to fight off the propaganda that they are giving you right now, and then they say themselves with their own flipping words.
Really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It is really the sort of the younger generation they need to be targeting, isn't it?
And what does the flipping clown say? What does he say? Does he say, no, that's such a strong word? You can't be really saying that. What do they say?
Absolutely. And I think...
You know, this is me on a calm one. This is the nice vibe. You don't want me to take this to the war room. If I took this to the war room, I'll be on my chair. I'll be going in the back, getting the plaque. I'll be in and out, eating popcorn everywhere. Bro, just know what it would have been if it was handed to, if this memo was handed to the Ministry of Defense. They would not have survived. I would have got cancelled. Because I'm really starting to get pissed off now with the ability of a news organization. Check this out. Do you know what? Let me F up the set, bro. Wait, hold on. Let me F up the set first. Let me set the vibe, yeah? I'm going to set the vibe. So we're in the middle of a presidential election. All right. And the left feels that it's losing to a Jewish man who wants to give poor people what they deserve. And then they want you to not vote for a man who was a TV personality and a celebrity. They want you to pick who they want. Now, being media and the ability to have free speech, what they proceeded to do, was, I don't even want to get into that part of it, about the Hunter Biden laptop and all that nonsense. Because that's another story about these connivers. But what they did was come up with the term fake news. And they cancelled and turned certain people's channels off. They banned certain people. And they put these very scary warnings under certain channel videos to make you not want to take in what they're saying. Or they want you to be in doubt as to what they're saying. So I live in a country called England, and in England there is something to which is called the bloody TV license. And what the TV license is literally a license that you have to legally pay whether or not you have satellite, cable, internet, or whatever. It says the requirement to hold a TV license, to hold a TV license and to pay a fee, for it is mandated by law under the Communications Act of 2003 and the Communications Television Licensing Regulations 2004 as amended. So in the UK, you have to pay your TV license. Now, what has happened is that since the internet has come, people no longer pay their TV license. Some people don't. The reason why some people don't pay their TV license is because they speculate that they don't watch terrestrial TV and or they don't watch BBC iPlayer. So why do I pay my TV license? Because what happens with the money that I pay my TV license for? Well, your money goes towards the BBC. Why does that matter? You are forced to pay money to a organization called the BBC by your government. So when you see under certain YouTube channels, this channel is funded by the foreign government. Let me see if I could find one. Let me see. Perfect. Al Jazeera. So, Al Jazeera, it says here, it says here, Al Jazeera is funded in whole or in part by the Qatari government. They need you to know that them sandbag Arabs run this station that tells you information that is bad about us. And since we told you that you should be pledging allegiance to us, and these guys are not to be trusted because they're sandbaggers and they're terrorists and so-called whatever, they're this and they're child molest, whatever, you should not listen to their news and when they tell you news about yourself. Because it's lies. But as you already know, it's one rule for me, and one rule for you. So, what does Wikipedia say, and the Alphabet crew at YouTube thinks you should know about the BBC? Let's look. It says here, BBC is a British public broadcasting service. Oh my fucking God. I just showed you, you have to pay your TV license. Who forces you? The government. The government is forcing you to pay a tax, in essence, for a TV station, but says that this is not government funded by the British government. They say it is a British public broadcast service. The connivers, bro. The connivers. The connivers, bro. They are a conniving lot. You need to have your Twinkies on when they speak, especially on these platforms, bro. Bloody hell, mate.
One of the real issues for that younger generation is Britain's history with colonialism and the royal family's role in that history.
They want to force you to follow this ideology, this monarchy ideology that they're saying, even though this same monarchy subjugated your people to the worst treatment ever recorded in human history, even though they subjugated you to that, even though we poisoned the Chinese with the opium we gave them, even though we colonized Africa and cut people's hands off as a European nation or new European family, even though we almost decimated every single Aborigine in Australia and put criminals there, even though we went to America and gave them diseases on purpose, even though we destroyed their food source on purpose to decimate a whole lineage of a peoples, even though we did all that, even though we went and connived our way and lied and brought in dictatorship after dictatorship and called it democracy, even though we paid off and forced leaders to do our bidding, even though we stole from you, we stole from him, and we stole from her, even though you still hold on and expose people to your old colonial way of thinking, this Pumpaplex over here with his stupid ginger self wants you to what?
Is Britain's history with colonialism and the royal family's role in that history. And if you view this through the prism of that subject, and the kind of Pledge of Allegiance does actually feel probably quite old school, I think, to that.
Bro, you give gingers a bad name, bruv. You actually do, bruv. I'm not pledging no flipping allegiance. You could take my citizenship away. I don't pledge no allegiance to no king, bruv. I pledge allegiance to my God. And my God advises me to follow your laws, to which I do, and I stay on the right side of the law. But don't come tell me I have to feel like I have to pledge allegiance in order to feel British. Otherwise, I'm not British enough for you. Because you can't get rid of history and you want to wipe it away as much as possible. You want to give man the Kansas City shuffle as to what's really happening around us. You want me to hold hands with the Nazi to fight against my Christian brother? Are you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Man said pledge allegiance, on Saturday. Just listen, if you think that I'm overreacting by calling a meeting of my ministers of foreign affairs over this treachery here, because I need to know what my foreign guys are doing. We need to know what they're doing. Because what they're doing might affect Zamunda. Oh, he loves to joke around about, it's a metaphor. Use your brain. So yeah, I will be with my other English Republicans out there, not pledging allegiance, not caring about no coronation. We're not falling for that one there, mate. Try again next time. So let's see before we end this stream on see if there's any else information we can get before we lock this off. What else was there to obtain? No. Which one? There's just a whole lot of it, man. All right, let's see. So we're gonna observe this video and this one here. Okay, don't ask me why. But we're gonna just fly through them quickly. So this one's gonna be first. Let's quick fly through
Together
this one quickly.
uniforms for the big day with the king's new insignia. In the skies, a practice session for what will be Britain's biggest military ceremonial operation in 70 years.
1,100 feet, 1019.
60 planes, 6,000 troops. With 1 week to go to the coronation, preparations are underway and excitement is growing.
London is like no other place. This is like the New York, the LA, and the San Francisco all combined.
I actually hate you Americans. I actually hate you lot. You're here in our country propping up this monarchy because you want to come here on holiday and see them pump around. But you're just giving them permission to rule over us without being under the jurisdiction of flipping law, bruv. They always get some American guy to come and talk, or some foreigner. Where's the English people that are out there that are sitting down, wasting their bloody time? Where are they?
This is like the New York, the LA, and the San Francisco all combined.
Really cool to see this happening. And the tradition and the customs and the ceremonies, it's spectacular. We don't have anything like this at home.
See what I'm saying?
Witnessing history, the famous Westminster Abbey at the center of a centuries-old ceremony that will crown a king and queen. The palace announcing new roles for members of the public this morning. An accountant turned farmer will carry the king's standard. An author and former children's TV host holding the scepter, representing the monarch.
Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Why is the black girl here, bruv? They have to bring the black girl to hand the scepter to him. Inclusivity.
Spiritual role. As the next generation gets ready, Prince William, expected to be his father's only liege man at the coronation, will kneel and pledge his allegiance. The Prince and Princess of Wales shown the ropes Thursday, rappelling over a cliff with the mountain rescue team in Wales.
Now, you've just watched a whole stream of me talking about how they want people to pledge allegiance. Ordinary people. Now, what does NBC News think? It thinks that only
nation will kneel and pledge his allegiance.
Only him will do that.
Princess of Wales shown the ropes Thursday, rappelling over a cliff with the mountain rescue team in Wales.
Yay! It just makes it sound all fluffy and nice. Oh, yay! We're all happy. Yay!
The couple, all smiles, picking up pizza after their Welsh adventure.
Oh, here we go. It's the stone from Scotland. Let's go. Let's start the magic and the paganism. Let's go.
And this morning, another ancient tradition, the Stone of Destiny, used in coronations for centuries, leaving Scotland and heading south.
Stone of Destiny, you know.
That's about a 300-plus slab of sandstone. It's considered a sacred relic here. It was used in ceremonies for Scottish kings in medieval times. It'll be placed underneath the gilded coronation chair for King Charles's coronation. And guys, look at this. We even have a bit of sun today. Let's hope it holds.
Beautiful weather. You know, I appreciate the history. I mean, some of those things that have been around for
I appreciate it.
The black woman and the black man appreciates the history. Which one? Which one? The slave Atlantic one? Which one? The colonial one? Which one? The World War one? Which one? The war on terrorism one? Which one? The Cold War one? Which one?
I'll give you.
War of France? Which one? The destruction of Egypt? Which one, bro? This is why you lot piss me off, bruv.
I almost thought it was a green screen with the nice weather.
Hey. Do you know what that's like? That's like me saying to you lot, me as a black man, I just really love Mount Rushmore and all of those dead presidents on there and what they've done for my people and how much I appreciate them. Oh, I love the history of it. Oh, I love the history of that. Look at the segregation buses. Oh, I love the history of it. Ooh, look at these little nigger dolls. What do you call them? With the big lip thing. I want to collect them. You be like, bro, you as an Englishman trying to tell us over here about what you like about our traditions that were affecting us in real time.
Thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m.
God damn. You lot are so brainwashed, bruv. Brainwashed. All right. It was this one. This is the last one I'm going to watch, man.
The coronation of King Charles III takes place on Saturday, the 6th of May, almost 9 months after he ascended the throne following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth. Coronations take time to plan. According to the palace, the ceremony will reflect the monarch's role today and will look towards the future while being rooted in long-standing tradition.
Today, yeah. Do you see why they need 18? What did she say? Program. We need to get them. What's the word? Someone would drop the word. What she used. You lot think man is just cuckoo, bruv.
And pageantry. It's an event that's been mapped out in secret for 2 decades under the code name Operation Golden Orb.
Are you hearing this?
The palace is planning a memorable spectacle. The coronation is the moment a new monarch is formally crowned, but the service is about far more than the placement of the crown on the monarch's head. It's a religious ceremony steeped in symbolism. It's been broadcast on television only once before, when King Charles' mother was crowned in 1953. That coronation was a pivotal moment for the fledgling medium of television.
Oh, Lord.
A live audience of 20 million Britons crowded around newly purchased TV sets. And to make sure American and Canadian audiences could watch that ceremony on the same day, US networks booked space on RAF planes. Technicians processed the film in mid-air.
Are you hearing?
The coronation of King Charles is a significant milestone for the British monarchy. It's the first to take place in the era of social media and digital communications, drawing the attention of many millions around.
Bro, manufactured consent.
Around the world. The coronation ceremony will be an Anglican service, formalising the monarch's...
Anglican. Yeah, Anglican.
...role as the head of the Church of England and defender of the faith.
Head of the church, defender of the faith.
That's why it's held at the Church of England's most sacred place, Westminster Abbey. King Charles is the 40th monarch to be crowned at the Abbey.
Look at this pomp, bruv. Look at this pomp, bruv.
It's a tradition dating back almost 1,000 years to William the Conqueror in 1066.
You hear it, yeah? You hear what them men are about, though, yeah?
Like royal weddings, this event is classified as a state occasion. It's paid for by the British government.
Hear that, yeah? Who's it paid by? The British government. Who pays the British government? Me and you.
Estimates from the planning committee put the price tag at £100 million. Given
out of our pockets. To pledge allegiance.
The cost of living crisis in Britain, there's been debate about the expense of the event and demands for a cut price coronation.
We don't even want a coronation. We don't even, unless it's Coronation Street, we don't want it.
It will be a smaller and less lavish service than those of the past.
Because no one wants to see it.
It'll also be much shorter, just 1 hour, compared to Queen Elizabeth's 3-hour ceremony.
Because no one's dared to pledge allegiance.
And Queen Victoria's 5 hours. While the ceremony may be pared back, the jewellery will not. Royal regalia will be on full display.
Full display. The pagan stuff would be fully out. The Masonry would be fully out. You're going to see things that would look like they were there by accident, but they were there on purpose.
A showcase of jewels and artefacts collected through centuries of British rule.
British rule or British theft.
Showcase of jewels and artefacts collected through centuries of British rule around the world. The centrepiece will be the crown. In preparation for the event, the 362-year-old St Edward's crown has been refreshed and resized to fit the king's head.
Bruv.
It features 444 coloured gemstones.
From where?
Including rubies, garnets, sapphires and tourmalines. It's filled with a purple velvet centre and
from where?
Trimmed with fur. It weighs...
From where?
2.23 kilograms, about the weight of a brick, and it's estimated to be worth almost $6.5 million. King Charles will have it placed on his head at the moment he's officially crowned king.
Why at that moment?
This will be the first and probably last time the king will be seen wearing this particular crown. For the remainder of the ceremony, he will wear the imperial state crown.
Why?
This is the crown the king will be seen wearing most often for royal events. The imperial crown is adorned with some of the most famous jewels in the royal collection.
Where do they come from?
Including the Black Prince's ruby.
Where's that from?
The Stuart sapphire.
Where's that from?
And the Cullinan II diamond.
Where is the Cullinan II diamond from?
Then there's the coronation ring, also known as the wedding ring of England.
The wedding ring of England. Do you know what? Fucking hell, wait, hold on. Ah. Let's go. All right, so it says here, Here. Let's see, because they always want you to fall for the bullshit. Pretending like they don't know. Like they don't know. What would I be searching for? All right, the wedding ring of England. The history. Okay. Let me see. All of a sudden, they don't know like what it is. All right, so it says, according to the back of this menu, one of the crown jewels of Britain is a ring known as the wedding ring because it represents the marriage of the monarchy to the nation. The menu claims the ring dates back to Edward the Confessor, the last Anglo-Saxon king of England before the Norman conquest of 1066. As depicted on the menu cover, Edward gave the ring to a beggar who turned out to be John the Evangelist, author of the Gospel of John. When John returned the ring, Edward declared it should be used at future coronations. Okay. So I don't want you lot to be surprised by none of this, bro. Why does it matter? Do that information, your flipping selves. I'm tired. Or when I got 10,000 subs or something, then I'll do it. You lot ain't stressing me out for nothing.
It's placed on the fourth finger of the monarch's right hand.
Why the fourth finger of the monarch's right hand? Everything, remember when I say everything is in its position and it can't be, bro, they have to put it on that finger. They have to put it on that finger.
The sovereign's ring has been used since 1831. It holds a sapphire and rubies in the form of a cross over the face, representing the cross of St. George and the Scottish flag.
Yeah, right.
Their Majesties will travel from Buckingham Palace in the King's procession to Westminster Abbey in the Diamond Jubilee State Coach.
Mate, are you lot seeing all of this? Remember I said they bring out all the pomp and everything, bro. Everything.
The Australian-built carriage has been referred to as a living time capsule made of wood from notable ships, castles and cathedrals.
I did not say this. This is what they say, bro. Listen to what he says where this carriage comes from. Listen to what he says. Stop flipping playing your Xbox.
Living time capsule made of wood from notable ships, castles and cathedrals of historical importance to the British.
So when they say, "Oh, the English Empire is finished, it's done, we don't believe in that no more. It's about this and that." Just know that I'm not gonna say enough. Just know, bro. Like, listen. Just know, innit? Just know, bro.
The procession will travel from the Mall to Admiralty Arch, past the...
Remember what I said to you about routes and positionings and masonry and where they got to do, and they got to turn certain ways and move certain ways, not just wear certain things, they got to go certain directions.
South side of Trafalgar Square, down Whitehall and along Parliament Street to the west entrance of Westminster Abbey. Those invited to the ceremony will travel to the Abbey by car, taking their seats long before the procession arrives. The King and Queen Consort enter Westminster Abbey.
You listening?
Through the royal entrance, where they're met by the Earl Marshal.
Bro, I'm flipping Prince, and this is not going to happen to me when I'm king. Like, are these breads like? Come on, bro. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, bro.
Great officers of state and archbishops of Canterbury and York. The royal regalia, the crown, orb, sceptres, ring and sword are escorted into the abbey by appointed peers and their
niggas
laid on the altar. The service itself will begin at 11 o'clock. It has 6 distinct parts that have barely changed in the past 1,000 years.
You hearing it? Are you hearing it?
First is the recognition, in which people acclaim their new sovereign.
You have to recognize him as your sovereign. Listen to what they are saying to you. You have to recognize him as your sovereign.
King Charles is led in procession through the west door of the abbey, through the nave and choir.
Bro, I don't make it
to
up,
the
bro.
chair of estate near the altar.
Another something.
He's wearing the coronation robes, the crimson circlet,
Another something.
and the robe of state. He'll break with tradition by doing without the customary breeches and silk stockings.
Why?
Instead, wearing his military uniform.
Why? Why is he wearing a military uniform? Why? Why does the King of England have a military uniform? Why is he wearing it on his coronation? The military, the arm of the British government, or the arm of the British state, which is there to I don't even know how, I would even know how to politically say that. I'm not even going to say it. You ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing.
His rank of Admiral of the Fleets. Members of the royal family will watch from the royal gallery as the king is presented to those gathered in the abbey by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The congregation declares, "God save the king," as Trump...
All right, God save the king, okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Sound. The oath then follows. The monarch pledges to serve the people. The sovereign swears to uphold the law and the...
The sovereign swears to uphold the law. I swear my mum's life, I do. I'll uphold the law. I swear my mum's life.
Church of England. The next stage is the anointing, the most sacred moment in the ceremony.
Why?
To symbolise the stripping of earthly vanity, the monarch is divested of all symbols of status, including the robe of state.
See?
He dons the colobium sindonis, an
See?
austere white garment without detail or lace,
You see?
to symbolise standing bare before God.
You see?
He then sits in the coronation chair, a wooden armchair commissioned in 1296 by King Edward. It's been used in the coronation of every British monarch since. Using the coronation
Why?
spoon, the oldest surviving item in the crown jewels, the Archbishop
Why?
anoints the king's hands, chest and head with holy oil. The king has requested
Why?
his coronation oil be vegan, replacing the traditional civet and ambergris, which are derived from animals. Instead, it'll be made of olive oil, grown...
Oh. If you knew the significance of ambergris and where they get it from.
pressed and consecrated in Jerusalem. The oil is kept...
Rewind selector and come again.
ambergris, which are derived from animals. Instead, it'll be made of olive oil, grown, pressed and consecrated in Jerusalem. The oil is kept in a solid gold flask called an ampulla, shaped like an eagle. After this is the investiture. The king will be presented with the symbols of sovereignty.
Are you hearing all of this?
These include the super tunica, a flowing coat of gold silk, the stole royal, a long, narrow scarf-like garment embroidered with gold and silver threads, and finally the imperial mantle on top. The king then passed the regalia, the royal orb representing religious and moral authority, the sceptre with cross representing temporal power as head of state.
Are you hearing the confufflements?
It's topped with the first Star of Africa, the largest colour.
Do you see why?
Cut diamond in the world.
Wait, hold on.
First Star of Africa, the largest power as head of state. It's topped with the first Star of Africa.
Why do you think they need the nigger to walk it in? Do you understand the ceremonial significance and the what it's supposed to represent when they do these things? The craft that they're ensuing and the yo.
The largest colourless cut diamond in the world. He'll also be handed the sceptre with dove, a rod of gold topped with a white enamelled dove, a symbol of justice and mercy, representing the sovereign's spiritual role. To complete the ensemble, the king is then given a pair of golden spurs and armills, a type of bracelet. Then the crowning. This is the moment the Archbishop places the St Edward's crown onto the head of the king. The abbey will echo with cries of "God save the King." This is a signal for trumpets to sound from Westminster.
Not harps, not pianos, trumpets.
Bells toll across the United
Bells.
Kingdom, and a 62 gun salute is fired from the
60 flipping 2. Not 61. Not 3 gun salute. 61 gun salute.
Tower of London.
62 gun salute.
The 62 guns represent 21 guns fired to mark a royal occasion.
Are you listening?
20 guns for the Tower as a royal palace.
Uh-huh.
And 21 guns for the City of London.
You can't make this up.
Now, the final steps, the enthronement and homage. The king will leave the coronation chair and ascend the stairs to the throne.
They say that, not me.
Carrying the sword of state. The Archbishop of Canterbury and the Prince of Wales will take turns kneeling before the monarch.
Bro.
They'll swear an oath of allegiance, touch the crown, and kiss the king's right hand.
Bro.
After the king is crowned, the queen consort has her own coronation ceremony. This is a little simpler. She isn't required to swear an oath, but she is anointed, blessed and crowned by the Archbishop of Canterbury. After the coronation, the consort part of her title will be dropped and she'll just be called Queen Camilla. She'll be wearing the Queen Mary's crown. It's made of silver, gold and embellished with 2,200 diamonds. This crown once housed the controversial Koh-i-Noor diamond. From India, seized by the British during the colonial occupation. For Camilla, the Queen Mary crown has been reset with 3 of the South African mined Cullinan diamonds, which have a British imperial backstory of their own.
You honestly think you could pull one over on me? Come on, bro. I'm not the one.
Nevertheless, these jewels are being included as a tribute to Queen Elizabeth, who wore them as brooches. Buckingham Palace says this is the first time in recent history that an existing crown will be used for the coronation of a consort in the interests of sustainability and efficiency.
Everything has a purpose.
She's also given 2 sceptres, the rod of ivory and the sceptre of gold. After she's crowned, she bows to the king, then takes her seat beside him.
Do you know what's funny? Let's watch this, but I'll come
At the
back
end
to
of the
this.
ceremony, the king descends from his throne and proceeds...
Actually, no. Let's go straight to it. Let's not spoil the surprise. Okay. Check this out. You see, you can't fling nothing past my head, bro. You can't do it, bruv. Throughout my whole videos, from the start to the end, I drop facts after facts after facts after facts about how my brain sees things and how I put the puzzle together. I might not have the full picture of the puzzle, but I have the bro, I put so much of this shit together that it's like okay. 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 Lovely, jubbly. Wait, what happened there? One second. Let me see, this is it. Lovely. Look at this. Look at it. You see, what people forget, is that Moses was he was a child that was abandoned. And he was adopted into the house of Pharaoh. And along the way, he picked up traditions like this and this. That's why no one ever asks, why did Moses have a staff in his hand? Why did he walk with a stick? Why did he walk with a scepter in his hand? Why did Pharaoh have this stick or this scepter? Why when they show pictures in the most powerful state, they had these sticks in their hand, these scepters? So much so that even flipping God himself asked Moses, what's that stick you have in your hand? See, God is the shepherd. I know shepherds carry around a stick, but that's not why you have the stick in your hand, Moses. I want to find out, while I'm talking to you here, Moses, why are you carrying around that stick in your hand? What does that stick signify to you? So much so that even Moses had to stop and be like, ooh. Ooh, God, ooh. Oh, this stick here? No, this is just a walking stick. When I want to lean on that stick, God, don't be up there like you don't got to be upset. Like, listen, that stick you got here, that's just to lean on. Sometimes I'm a shepherd, so I need to lead my sheep. I might move them to the side. This stick here, this don't mean nothing. It don't have no significance. This stick don't have no significance, huh? Why would this stick have a significance?
And efficiency. Huh? She's also given 2 separate...
So like God, I ask you, what does that stick mean? The rod of ivory. The other sticks. If they have no significance, what do they mean? Why do you need a black woman to bring the one with the stone of Africa in it? Why? Oh, he's a madman. He don't know what he's talking about. He's cuckoo. Well, is your God cuckoo? Is your God cuckoo? Because God's asking the same question that I'm asking. So if you think God is perfect and you think God could ask anything he wants, well, am I not following God's footsteps by asking? I'm asking you, what does that stick in your hand represent? Certain people, even up to now, still don't know where I'm coming with this, or what the significance of this is. That even God, when he said, listen, Moses, this, do that, do that, do that, do that. Oh yeah, by the way, what's that stick thee has in thy hand? What doesn't God know everything? According to you and your book, does God know everything? Let's see what Jesus has to say about that. Let's see. Because I'm tired of breaking down for you guys stuff that is like, bro, it's so easy for me, bro. Okay. Lovely. Lovely. Here's what Jesus says. Jesus says, no one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Jesus is trying to say, listen, hold on a minute. I don't even know the last day, nor the angels, none of these, man. Only the Father knows. That's what Jesus said. According to you lot. What? I'm not saying it. He's not saying, Jesus said that. No one knows but the Father. So we're assuming that the Father knows the last day. Well, Amiri, if the Father knows the last day, wouldn't he know why Moses is carrying around a stick? Of course he does. So now you have to ask yourself, if God knows why Moses is carrying around a stick, why did he bother to ask him? He needed Moses to understand that God understands everything. You see that stick you have there, Moses? What does it mean to you? Because I told you don't idol worship. I told you don't seek refuge in anything but me. I told you that I'm your rod and your staff. Why do you need a stick that Pharaoh wears? That Pharaoh had when he was taking over, when he was in control, when he claimed he was God. Are you starting to see the connection? We have one institution where they have broken away from the church and says, I am the head of the church. I am the head. I, the sovereign, is the head. The archbishop kisses my hand. And I walk around and you hand me a stick. On the other side, you have Pharaoh, who carries around a stick, who claims he is the head. He is God himself. there is parallels in between. It's power. The sticks hold power if you give them the power. The same stick Moses took and made snakes from, and turned to blood, the river to blood, and split the sea with the stick. Bro, you lot think this is some kind of games what they're playing with you lot. You think it's a game. You think it's pomp and just, well, there's a reason why they're still alive and kicking up to this day. Because they're human just like me and you, but the ceremony and the symbolizations, the symbolizations of power and enforcing power and enforcing manufactured consent lets us be under this same jurisdiction of unfairness. Now I just had to drop you like that. You can see it yourself. Look, it's right there. The crook and flail. There you go. He has it in his hands over here. As you can see, he has it in his hands. He has two scepters in his hands. One that looks like this and one that looks like this. Okay. Now, what did God say to Moses when he was walking around with a stick? He said, listen, Moses. And the Lord said unto him in Exodus, tell us, what is that in thy hand? You think God don't know the difference between a shepherd's stick and a stick that's used to influence power? Where you derive power from anything that's anything but God? You lot are playing around, man. Don't start me, bro. Because I'm ending the stream. Don't start me. I'll get to that. I'll break, bro. Man could do this for hours. Just bossing files, bro. Of public information that's out there, but they're so separated that you don't see the web of how they connect and how the dots connect, and how when you connect the dots, you realize that you're under a cage, bro, and why the cage is there, and all the different places that connect in order for you to feel encaged. Don't play with me, bro. You're one of the best networks out there, man. Because this is just me talking to you guys, my citizens, my little circle of the internet, about stuff that everyone should flipping know, mate. Now I apologize, not in advance, but in hindsight, I apologize for any language that may be deemed inappropriate for some of your virgin little ears. I do apologize. You see, I love being here for many reasons. And I will continue to be here giving you my kind of vibes. If you like it, smash the like, smash the subscribe, press the bell, and become a motherfucking citizen of Zamunda. Okay? Now, Now. You guys have the opportunity to only on this episode to tell me how I should direct my energy in future in terms of these lives. If you're enjoying the scheme of stuff of how I'm coming up with it in terms of the Ministry of Defense, Foreign Affairs, Justice, Sports and Education, and we get all the subjects out there, but all under the umbrella of the Kingdom of Zamunda. If you're enjoying it, let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. If you want me to review something, let me know. My Instagram, it should be in the description below. Yeah? Now, before I go, I would like to thank a few people. Okay. I want to thank Pearl. I want to thank Top Producer. I want to thank King. Top Flight. I want to thank Perkilislav, Dystopia. I would like to thank the man who should remain nameless for making the thumbnails. I would like to thank my moderators that are waiting in the wings. I'd like to thank my subscribers that have sent me words of kindness and words of hate. I love you all in the same. I'd like to thank all the people that liked, comment, subscribe. You know? Yeah. So hopefully we got big things that are coming up for the channel and you lot ain't got nothing to say. It was a lot to unpack. But hopefully you understand a bit more about this nonsense that they got people trying to do. About pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to me and my kingdom. Yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. It's the Fresh Prince of Zamunda. I'm out.